and gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Nice to have you back. Thank you, John. Nice to have you with us for this, our last show of the week. I got something fascinating to show you. What I'm holding in my hand here closely resembles any sort of a plastic bottle such as you ladies might carry with you in your vanity case, your makeup case. Nothing dictates the size of it. This could have been made into the shape of a, let's say a pop bottle or a beer bottle. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to drop this bottle into this fish bowl full of pure water. It's just plain old tap water. And I fill it up with water like that, and I just let it drop to the bottom there, if it's going to drop to the bottom. We'll check back with it from time to time. Now, I'll bet you think that has something to do with our first spot on this show, right? Wrong. Has to do something with our second spot on the show. We'll just take a look at that from time to time. But first things first, and now the business at hand is to introduce the Tell the Truth panel.
Peggy Cass. Bill Cullen. Kitty Carlisle. And Tom Kennedy.
Hey there, did you guys see me do that?
I saw you drop that bottle.
You know what I just did in there?
What'd you do?
I don't know what I just did.
What did you do?
We're going to have to keep watching that from time to time during the show. I'll just roll my sleeve up so from time to time I can just establish the fact that it's still there.
Whoops,
What is it?
It's a hand.
It's a bottle, like a lady's plastic, in your vanity case. And I just dropped it into plain old water, and things are going to happen as we keep our eyes on it during the show. Meanwhile, let's get to the first spot. And I'm really rude in asking, does anybody remember the foxtrot and the Lindy?
Sure. I do.
And the pachanga?
Sure,
No.
pachanga, yeah.
Pachanga, you don't dig that? Well,
don't
our
know
next
it.
guest not only remembers them, she does them. And let's meet her right now.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Alice Dubose.
Number two.
My name is Alice Dubose.
Number three.
My name is Alice Dubose.
Okay. Let's listen to Alice Dubose's story, and it's interesting. It goes like this. I, Alice Dubose, am a professional dance instructor. As such, I can testify to the fact that ballroom dancing is due for a revival. In 1960, more people were enrolled in dancing schools than in all of our colleges and universities put together. Then ballroom dancing suffered a decline. The big ballrooms closed their doors, as did the large nightclubs with lots of room for dancing. Young people were more interested in listening and dancing in place to rock music. However, today, with a strong interest in the culture and the customs of the 1930s and 40s, ballroom dancing is once again becoming popular. One form the popularity is taking is in dance competitions. Recently, my partner and I competed in the first United States National Ballroom Championships. I am proud to say we won 3 gold medals. Signed, Alice Dubose. And we'll begin the questioning in just a moment, but first let's visit the All-American Dream Machine. And what is happening to our little bottle in the fishbowl over here is happening very slowly. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It's supposed to happen before too very long. But now let's turn our attention back to the ladies over here who are more important at the moment. They all say that they are Alice Dubose, ballroom dance instructor. And we'll start the questioning with Tom Kennedy, please.
Well, I'll start with number 3. I noticed when she was standing up here, you have beautiful calves, which it would indicate that you're a terrific dancer. But you're so young, how did you, if these are considered old-fashioned dances, where did you learn to do these dances?
I studied with the Arthur Murray Studio in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. And, number 2, is your partner your husband, or?
No, he's just one of the instructors that I work with.
And number 1, are you married?
No.
And number 3, in Pittsburgh, did they have any of these competitions there?
No, not the United States Championships, nothing.
Is that the very first one that you won, number 2?
No, I won some local ones in in Miami.
And,
Okay, Tom, sorry, we're going to have to go down to Peggy.
Number 2, where are you from?
Miami Beach.
And number 1?
Houston.
Oh, gee. Okay, number 2, what's the difference between the Peabody and the Lindy?
The Peabody and the Lindy, I think, actually in tempo. The Lindy is done with your partner more extended, where...
Thank you. And now, number 1, what in fact is the difference between the Lindy and the Jitterbug?
Not too much difference. The Jitterbug is a little wilder than the Lindy.
Thank you. Number 3, where does the samba come from? Which country?
The samba comes from Brazil.
Thank you. And number 2, the merengue.
The merengue is originally from the Dominican Republic.
Thank you. And number 1, the tango.
Tango, Argentina.
Tough questions and good answers, and we go to Bill.
Boy, all of these girls are too young to have known ballroom dancing.
So am I.
Yeah. I was going to say with one notable exception. But anyway.
Peggy Cass, the world's champion castle walk dancer.
We all know the big...
question.
Yeah, the big ballroom place for ballroom dancing in New York is Roseland, of course, was and still is. Number 1, what contest is held every year in New York? What ballroom dancing contest? Every year in New York City. Gets a lot of publicity.
Harvest Moon.
Number 3, who sponsors the Harvest Moon Ball?
The Daily News.
Number 3. No, you'll see why. Number 3, where is the Aragon Trianon Ballroom is what I was going to ask. There are two separate places, but in what city, number 2, are they?
There was one in Los Angeles, and there's one in Chicago.
Oh, boy,
They're
are we
good.
good at Kitty? I'll say they're
Number
good.
1, a dance was mentioned that even I don't know. What is the pachanga?
You tell me. I don't know it.
Why, Mr. Moore, what is a pachanga?
It says in the affidavit pachanga, and I don't kid around with the affidavit.
I didn't see it in my affidavit. You made it
Hold
up.
down.
He made it up.
It's the
No,
same
there's
thing.
a dance of
There's
pachanga.
a dance called
Pachanga.
pachanga. Yeah, so
Number 3, when you won this United States Championship, what did you win? I'm always interested in results.
We won in 3 different categories. One was the American
Yeah, but what
category.
did you win?
Oh, we won 3 gold medals.
Is that all? No money?
Yes.
And
we
also
won money, too.
That's better. Number 2, where was
And
it?
that ding-dong cuts it off. That's all the time you said it, gee whiz. I'm glad the panel has to vote. You and I, friends, can just look and wonder. Is it number 1? Or is it number 2? Or is it number 3? We pay $50, of course, for each wrong vote. We pay $500 if everybody comes up blank. And, Tom, have you made up your mind?
well, I can't even dance the affidavit. But I have never heard so many good answers in all my life. They are really perplexed. I'm going to go with the one who looked to me in the calves like the best dancer, or the one who does the most dancing. That's number 3.
All right, we got a number 3 for the calves, and let's go down to Peggy.
Well, notwithstanding the calf freak, number 1 has the tiniest waist I've ever seen, and all those girls that are terrific ballroom dancers have those teeny weeny waists. So I voted for her.
You did? Oh, that was a 1.
That was a
We'll
1.
trust you for a 1, and we go to Bill Cullen.
You dropped your partner. Well, I don't know much about ballroom dancing, but number 3 reminds me so much of a beautiful girl I used to go with named Loretta.
That's fascinating.
Oh, don't muse over Loretta. Get on with it.
Anyway, number
Wanna borrow
3
my
looks
handkerchief?
like Loretta. And for that reason, and also Loretta had great calves, Tom, and I voted for number 3.
We got a 1 and a pair of 3s and a Kitty Carlisle.
I voted for number 1 because I think she has the best posture.
And she was from Pittsburgh.
And, and she's got those nice square shoulders. I think she's the real one.
Huh.
Well,
all right. Now, of course, Alice DuBose did not win this championship all by herself. That would have been silly. Can't do that. She had a partner, and his name is Ronald Leverett. And here is Ronald to come and pick out his dancing partner. Ronald, come out here and show us which one is Alice. Thank you. There are apparently fringe benefits that go with the dancing there, too. Look, you two, why don't you go backstage and get ready to give us a demonstration, and we'll find out about our friends. It's a good thing I'm not on the panel. At number 2, you were my choice. When I walked in this morning, I thought it was you. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Carol Navarro, and I'm a shoe model here in New York.
A shoe model. And number 3 with 2 big votes, what is your real name? What'd you do?
My name is Jean Sanchez, and I'm an executive secretary in New York for Baker Firestone.
And And now this lovely demonstration, and it'll carry you back and you'll love it. Here are Alice DuBose and Ronald Everett to dance the bolero and the rumba. Got myself one that time. Hey, you remember now earlier in the show I dumped this little bottle in the punch bowl? Tom, you're sitting closer to it. Can you begin to describe what is happening?
It's disintegrating around the bottle.
It's disintegrating, yeah.
It's a self...
All right, for further demonstrations, stay tuned.
Ruins itself.
Biodegradable stuff.
Now, you got to keep in mind, we only dropped this thing in here about 12 minutes ago, something like that, so...
Yeah, but your hand's disintegrating.
No, it isn't either.
No.
My hand's in good shape. Let us now meet our authority on water-soaked bottles. Huh?
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Laszlo Bonus.
Number 2.
My name is Laszlo Bonus.
Number 3.
My name is Laszlo Bonus.
All right, and here is the fascinating story of Laszlo Bonus. Listen carefully. I, Laszlo Bonus, am president of a company which has invented a plastic bottle that dissolves in water. My extraordinary 3-layer ecological bottle may well revolutionize the industry. Bottle litter may be a thing of the past. Now, here's what happens. After you have finished with the contents, you peel off the outer layer of the bottle. This is done by simply pulling down a little tab. Then the soluble middle layer is exposed. Now you have a choice. You take the bottle outside where the first rain will wash virtually all of it away, or simply put it in your sink. Or if you wish to get fancy, drop it in a fishbowl like the one on the To Tell the Truth stage, and it will in time dissolve. Actually, my self-destructive bottle offers you yet a third choice. You can eat it. Signed, Laszlo Bonus. And hey, guys, last go round of the week. What do you want to ask?
Number 2, what do you do with that outside layer? Don't you just throw that away?
You just peel it off. It's like a little film.
And you just throw that up, but then
Right.
does that eventually self-destruct?
Well, it constitutes such a little amount that it is negligible.
I see. Now, number 3, is this bottle in commercial use?
Not yet, ma'am.
Well, okay.
Not-
Number 3, is it expensive?
Well, it's not very expensive. The price is going to be determined as when it'll be fully developed.
Thank you.
It's not in the market yet.
Thank you. Well, number 1, once it starts to disintegrate, does it pollute the water?
No, it doesn't pollute the water at all. It doesn't have any ill effects as far as any human life is concerned.
Thank you.
And that buzzer takes us to Bill Cullen.
Biodegradable.
Yeah, I got to ask number three. Number three, what is biodegradable? That is a big word now in ecological circles.
Biodegradable is self-destructive. It's, well, if you immerse it into any kind of liquid, or water especially, providing it's not hot water,
now,
it will actually destroy itself. You know,
thank you, sir. Number one, I know we can't get to the specifics as far as price is concerned, but how would the price of this bottle compare with an ordinary glass bottle or a metal container of the same size?
It's much cheaper.
It will be cheaper?
Much cheaper.
And it will still be able to dispose of it that easily, is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Number...
Thank you, Bill. Now we're going to go with Kitty.
Well, you know, I'm always interested in food.
Yeah.
Number 2, how come you can eat it? What's it made of?
It's made out of a chemical which is perfectly harmless for the human body or for any organism.
But it has no nutrient in it.
No, it has not.
No, but you could eat it if you wanted to.
Yes.
Number 1, what is the tab made out of that is non-soluble?
Well, it's very similar to saran wrap.
I see. Number 3, are you a chemist?
I started chemistry at Manchester, England. Right.
At what?
At Manchester, England.
Oh, but you're not a chemist now.
No.
But you did invent this.
I suppose so. Well, I invented it with someone else.
I see. And number 2, when this film comes off, is it really like paper, like saran wrap, that you can just throw it away?
It's very much like a little film.
Are you a chemist?
Yes, I am.
He says yes, and we go to Tom Kennedy for the last question.
It reminds me, I've got a biodegradable game show. You play it for a while. If you don't like it, you eat it. It's the same thing. But I may be dense, but number 1, when you peel off the outer layer and you expose the middle layer and that dissolves, what about the inner layer in which the liquid is housed? What about...
The inner layer that houses the liquid or whatever, you know, is the same as the outer layer. And that only constitutes about 2% of the entire bottle.
Okay. Number 2, if that inner layer is the same as that outer layer, which you had to throw away and which is non-biodegradable, how come you can eat it? You got that inner layer going for you.
Well, you don't eat the film, obviously. You peel off the film, and if you want to eat it, but it wasn't designed for eating purposes. But if you so desire, you could eat it.
But, all right.
Great with mustard. We have just finished our questioning period, and we must make up our minds. Mark your ballots, friends, and decide whether it's number 1, or number 2, or number 3. And Peggy, you seem to be having a little trouble down there, aren't you?
I'm not having any trouble at all.
All right, my dear.
I voted for number 1 because he looks like Hungarians in the movies, and Laszlo's a Hungarian name.
All righty. We got a number 1 going, and we're going to Bill Cullen.
Well, now, that's funny. I voted for the gentleman I thought looked like Laszlo, and that was number 3, who just seemed to have enough information to be the president of that company, and who, if he did invent it with someone else.
All right, we got a 1 and a 3, and a Kitty Carlisle coming
Well,
up.
I think 2 and 3 look like Laszlo, but I chose number 3. I think he's the real one.
Tom Kennedy, which way are you going to go here, my friend?
Yeah, I went for, incidentally, number 2 could do a voiceover for Paul Lucas anytime, but he also seemed to have he satisfied himself in the answer, not me. I still don't know about the inner layer, but I went for number 2.
All right, it's spread all over the board. We've got a 1 and a 2 and 2 3s. Now, this is kind of an interesting way to find out which is the real one. And he will have to pardon my fingers, which have been in here.
He's going to have to eat.
No, we wanted to prove to you that it is not harmful to the human system. So with most of this bottle, or at least a half of it in the short time we've had, having been dissolved in plain tap water,
and your hands.
Yeah, you bet.
And my hands, I say forgive my hands, I washed them before.
Don't drink it.
The one who falls down.
Now, the real one will have the courage of his convictions, and he will drink from the cup. Sir, be my guest. He doesn't want it. How about that?
No, I better not.
There goes the real one. And Tom Kennedy saved the day. Number 1, sir, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Michael Wayne, and I'm the owner of the famous Press Box Steakhouse.
Oh, great place. And Laszlo, number 3, what is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Ben Hellerman. I'm a commercial artist and musician here in New York.
Laszlo, we're extremely impressed by this thing, and I realized that we had to, it couldn't possibly dissolve in the short time we had. But how long would it take something like, let's say, a pop bottle made of that to dissolve totally and destroy itself?
Well, it takes about 2 hours to dissolve completely and totally. Well, we didn't have it in the show, but in an ecological scale, it's really not, it's a pittance.
Oh, well, listen, if everything we threw overboard dissolved and destroyed itself in 2 hours, I'll settle for that anytime.
My company, Aragon Corporation, is working on the commercialization of this thing, as it is not yet in commercial use, as you pointed out.
Well, good luck to you and your corporation, and thank you, gentlemen, both very much for being with us on the, what's that says there? Inner layer? Inner layer, it says there. What about this? We'll come back to that in a moment. We'll be right back. Oh. Tom, I tried to get the answer for you, and I got an answer, but it is so complicated I can't possibly pass it along to you or the listeners about the inner layer.
It's a very fine film, they say.
It's a very fine film, and in finding in the end, it is so minute as to be almost
negligible,
non-existent. See? Tom, you've been great fun to have on our show.
Gary, I had a ball. Thank you very much.
You don't get to New York often, but when you do, you got an open invitation.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. I'll look forward to that.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed being on your show.
Next Monday.
Transportation and other consideration provided by Pan American World Airways. Featuring theater in the air, international flag food service, tours on tape, and weather insurance. All new from the world's most experienced airline. Our central characters today get a beautiful 3-carat Lindy simulated diamond made by Union Carbide. Set in 14-karat gold and backed by the Lindy simulated diamond guarantee. Prizes or product mentions were furnished and or paid for by the manufacturers or supplier of the products or services identified on this program. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.